The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hey everybody, my name is General Mike Flynn, and I'm here to do a big shout out for my great friend and one of the best in the business, Mr. Doug Billings. Right Side with Doug Billings, Right Side with Doug Billings. Doug is the future of the airwaves when it comes to independent broadcasters and podcasters. He is the new Rush Limbaugh. He's exactly what America needs right now, looking for honesty, looking for wisdom, looking for truth, looking for patriotism. Listen to Doug Billings at Right Side with Doug Billings. God bless you and God bless America, and thank you.
We are not liberal snowflakes who melt away in the face of tragedy, adversity, and challenge. We are a covenant nation under God, and His divine providence is not dead and it's not gone. It is living within each and every one of you. And you will bring it to life in such a way that the world has never seen before. We never back down. We never give up. We march forward.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side. I'm Doug Billings. I'm on a rant today about conservatives in the elected class, to be specific, and those who are seeking to be members of the elected class from the conservative side in this republic need to take heed. I'm going to draw your attention to Kari Lake in Arizona. Do you want to know why she's winning, conservatives? Because she's bold, because she's unafraid, and because she's calling out the mainstream media for what it is: irrelevant. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, CNN does not matter. Nobody watches CNN except a small, minute percentage of kooks. Nobody listens to national public radio anymore except those who want to believe that the spotted owl is more important than your livelihood. Nobody reads the New York Times and Post anymore except those same far left-wing radicals. It's irrelevant, the mainstream media. It doesn't matter, and Kari Lake knows it, and she calls them out, and people love her for it. We're sick of the lies. We're sick of being censored. We're sick of being canceled, and we're not going to let the woke mainstream media do it any longer. Kari Lake, thank you for speaking up. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are running for office on the conservative side, stand up for your conservatism. Be proud of it. We're the party of life. We're the party that enables everybody to find whatever amount of success they want in this republic. And that means that some people might not want to find any success. But we're the party that makes it happen. We're the party that rooting, cheering for, and encouraging everybody to become the better version of themselves, the best version of themselves. And we believe that there's more wonder, joy, and meaning in this life as intended by God than you can possibly imagine. We're the party of life. We're the party of morality. We are the party of the founding fathers. Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream media does not matter. Take a lesson and learn. Those of you running for office, seeking re-election, if you would simply do this, admit this, act on this, you would never lose another election, and you would find more followers than you can possibly imagine. For the love of all that's good, stand up for conservatism. It comes to us from the divine providence of God Himself, and it is the foundation that the founders codified in our founding documents. Give yourselves permission to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless America. Believe it. For the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard of electromagnetic pulse, EMP for short? I've got a device here that I'm going to hook up to my car. I've got one that looks similar to it that I'm going to hook up to my breaker box in my house. EMP Shield, EMPshield.com. Go there and use promo code Doug. EMP pulse magnetic energy can come from the sun. It can happen in nature, but it also can happen from foreign nations who don't necessarily take too kindly to us. Can happen in nuclear blasts, things like that you've heard and seen in the movies. Now, I'm not saying a nuclear blast is going to happen, but this device, the EMP Shield, simple to install. Listen, if I can do it, and I'm no Einstein, you can do it. Hook it up to your car battery, hook it up to your breaker box in your home or your apartment, wherever. Make sure that you're protected in case of an electromagnetic pulse outbreak in this country or around the world. It will protect you. You want to be able to go from point A to point B. Get one today. EMPshield.com, promo code Doug. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side. I'm Doug Billings, talking about the right side of health. Becoming the best version of yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, is important. You see this device over here? It's a little water, hydrogen water, ladies and gentlemen, hydrogen-infused water. The health benefits of this are incredible and well documented. I want you to go to holyhydrogen.com. Look this machine up. Use the promo code Doug to get $100 off. They have a payment plan. They have a top tier 1 customer service center. You're going to want to take advantage of this and learn all about it. It takes care of the swelling in your gut. It clears up mind fog. Listen, cancer, glaucoma, the results of the jab, all of these things have been documented to show increased benefits by virtue of infused water with hydrogen. Holyhydrogen.com, ladies and gentlemen, promo code Doug. Believe it, for the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side. I'm Doug Billings. The midterm elections just a couple of weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. You will see a seismic shift in power in Washington, D.C. I think that we'll see 40 to 50, maybe 60 if it's a good night, seats in the House go to the conservative side, and 4 to 5 in the Senate. Again, if it's a good night, maybe 6 seats over there. At any rate, no matter how you cut that and slice it up, we conservatives are on the move. Why? Because the radical left Commusocialist Party has thrust chaos upon us since the very day they took control of the government. Their days are over. Common people see this. People leaving the Commusocialist Party. Folks, there is no more Democratic Party in the United States. They have blended communism and socialism together. They are the Commusocialist Party. They are not a pro-America political party. Evidence of the obvious is sufficient. Look around you. No wonder people like Tulsi Gabbard and Elon Musk have said for the first time in their lives they're going to vote Republican. John and Jane Doe on the streets of America are thinking the same thing, so take hope in this, but work hard. Don't become paralyzed. Get out and vote. Get active. Become involved as paid election observers and officials. Get out and canvass those neighborhoods in which you live. Set right the voter rolls and registration so that people that died in 1862 aren't voting in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do this. We're on the cusp of the greatest reawakening to the divine providence of God this republic has ever seen. That includes during the time of the founding fathers. And we owe this all to the chaos that the Communist-Socialist Party has thrust upon us. You see, they're bringing about their own demise. People ask me, hey, Doug, how do we combat this? How do we fight the Communist-Socialist Party? They're a coalition of immorality. My simple answer is let them speak. Let them speak loudly, boldly, and clearly, ladies and gentlemen, because every time they do, people leave that platform by the multiple millions. Give yourselves permission to believe it, my friends, for the Republic. Cheers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side. Hey, we're having a membership drive over on DougBillings.us. Look, you can always see every show that I do for free over there, but we do have to have some support in order to continue the show. DougBillings.us. 2 options. One, you can join as a monthly member, $10 a month. Even a semi-employed high school student could afford that. Or if you want to get all of it out of the way for a year, $120 for the full year. DougBillings.us, ladies and gentlemen, we would appreciate it. We're having a membership drive, DougBillings.us, $10 a month or $120 for the full year. Please bless us with your support. We're in this together, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it. For the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Thanks very much for watching and joining me on The Right Side, my show. Today, before I go on air, I wanted to spend some time with you, just you and me. Just you and me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you that, we stand shoulder to shoulder, you and I, during this nightmare, during the chaos that has been thrust upon us by the Communist-Socialist Party of America. I have a new book coming out, Remaking the American Political System. Remaking the American Political System. It should be out in just a couple of weeks. I would appreciate you heading over to the website, DougBillings.us, and clicking on the button to order it over there. If you sign up for the website over there, a yearly membership, $120, I'll send you a book. I'll sign it. I'll send it to you. We'll make a go of it, okay? We're going to get the website set up to handle all of that. If it's not done quite yet when you're hearing this message, bear with me. Bless yourself with the gift of patience. We'll get that set up over there on the website for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Billings Report, a place where you can go and get all of your news in one stop. The Billings Report. It's billingsreport.com. I want you to start heading over there for your news. No liberal bent. It's the truth. There's no real conservative bent. It's the truthful news of the day. You can make and draw your own conclusions and get the facts over there. The headlines vary from day to day, but there's always going to be relevant topics. I can't wait to see what when we take over the House and the Senate just a couple of weeks from now in the midterm elections. I can't wait to see what the conservatives are going to do with Hunter Biden, ladies and gentlemen. His laptop, his ties to the communist China government. They will be examined, and they will be I think unapologetically revealed to the American people at long last. So that's one big piece of news. I can't wait for that. We have what people are calling Armageddon Friday tomorrow. Elon Musk takes over Twitter, and it's going to be wonderful. I loved the fact that he walks into the office yesterday with a sink in his hands. He's gonna, the thing is, if you go out and you look at the libs of TikTok did a little bit about a lady who goes to work at Twitter. She was a Twitter employee.
Welcome to a day in my life as a Twitter employee. So this past week went to SF for the first time at a Twitter office, badged in. Honestly, took a moment to just soak everything in. What a blessing. Also started my morning off with an iced matcha from the perch. Then I had a meeting, so quickly scheduled one of these little pod rooms, which were so cool. They're literally noise canceling. Took my meeting, got ready for lunch. Look how delicious this food looks. Oh my goodness, I was so overwhelmed. Then made my way down to this log cabin area. I don't know what this is, but it was really cool. Played some foosball with my friends to kind of unwind a bit. Also found this really cool meditation room that I thought was super neat. I didn't do any yoga, but they have this yoga room if you are a yogi, so also thought that was really cool. Had a couple more meetings in the afternoon, had a ton of projects that we needed to knock out. Say hi to my teammates. Went to the library to kind of get some more work done. Obviously had to have our afternoon coffee, so made some espresso. And then before leaving for the day, had some red wine that's on tap. Went up to the rooftop and just honestly enjoyed the beautiful weather. So awesome trip.
So it's no wonder that Elon Musk looks at this and he goes, people have got to go. People have really, we're fat, we're lazy, we're not getting the job done. And by that, I mean, they have too many employees that aren't getting the job done. Don't come down on me for judging fat people, ladies and gentlemen. Every one of us, me included, could stand to lose a few pounds, couldn't we? It's not a fat joke. It means that they're overpopulated with worthless, lazy employees, just as many companies are in the world, and they're afraid to make any move against them because of the cancel woke culture. Fetterman, another example. Fetterman on the debates with Dr. Oz the other night. It's the beginning of the end for Fetterman. He can't talk. Now, look, the mainstream media comes out and says, well, don't bully the man. He had a stroke. They're just bullying him, and it's just inappropriate. He can still recover and sit in an office and do his job. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear. We have every amount of respect and concern and sympathy for a man, Fetterman included, who has a stroke. My father died of a stroke in 2002. We know what strokes do. I know the devastation that they can cause, and I know that we can't put people up in this situation. That's the cruelty. Putting him up in front of the people like that, he can't answer any questions without a monitor, without an interpretation device in front of him. You want to talk about bullying and being cruel? That's it. You see, that's a classic example of how the left will spin and turn the tables of the truth on us. They themselves are the ones who are cruel and without any sense of morality. They do the same thing with Joe Biden. We talked about that since he became the administrator of this country. To put him up there is cruel. Fetterman and Biden, for that matter. So don't give us a lecture on what's cruel and what's bullying and what's not, because it's the left that will bully you, shut you up, and cancel you if you dare to disagree with them. The evidence of the obvious of that is full of fact and truth, and evidence there abounds. You know, the chaos, ladies and gentlemen, that we experience since 2020, when Administrator Biden began to work from the White House, is astonishing. And it's no wonder people are leaving that party by the multiple millions. And I think in that, there's so much hope for us. It's why in November, in just a couple of weeks, we're going to see a seismic shift in the power structure in Washington, D.C. 50 seats, maybe 60 if it's a good night, will go to the conservative side. And on the Senate side, probably 4. Again, if it's a good night, 5 or 6 seats in the Senate will go to the conservative side. Now, we need to take inventory of what that means. The difference is not so much that we're showing up at the polls. We already did that in 2020. We showed up in record numbers at the polls and voted in 2020. But what we were not doing was we were not involved in the local level with regards to being poll watchers and election observers, paid election observers. We did not canvass neighborhoods to find out who had died in 1862 to make sure they don't vote in 2022. We weren't involved in keeping an eye on these election drop boxes, making sure that our governments weren't shutting down the election facilities, our local governments, in the middle of the night, tallying votes that are coming in the white vans driven by some unknown character, and just bucketfuls and suitcases full of ballots are being dropped. We're not letting that happen, and that's the key difference. Now, of course, the other side is going to still try to cheat. That's what they do. That is what they do. But we're showing up in record numbers to be involved in many more ways other than voting. And I encourage you all to vote on election day. Show up in massive numbers on election day. And don't listen to these radical left people who would say to us that we're trying to diminish the opportunity to vote for anybody. That's insane. It's intellectually immature. It's a lie. We should be fighting for voter ID. Show your ID. A legal federal state ID. Show it. We've got to fight for that. It must be a mandate, and it must be a requirement. We have to also remember that we have to turn election day back into just that, election day. No more election week, no more election month. Please don't vote early. Go on election day. Vote in person. Oh, but Doug, it's going to take 3 or 4 hours, maybe longer to get through. Is that a sacrifice that you're willing to compare to the men and women who went to the battlefield and died for you to give you the right to vote, or to protect, rather, the right to vote? The Almighty God is the one who gave you the right to vote. All of our rights come from God. And by the way, remind me again how it honors God that we abandon the rights that he himself gave us. Well, Doug, I think that, there is a right of omission. I can decide not to vote. That's a right that I have too. Folks, that may well be true, but don't you feel dirty saying that? I'm going to exercise my right not to vote. It's a fraudulent system, and therefore I'm going to protest. How dare you? You don't honor the military men and women who went to the battlefield and in many cases died to protect that right, and you certainly aren't honoring God. And you're not doing anybody any good by sitting at home protesting. Fix 20 or bust. Okay, that's a fair statement, but it also can become a mantra of paralysis if that's the only thing that you're focusing on. Nobody denies that we need to fix 2020, but we can't sit on our butts and not do anything about 2022. You see, we've got to fully engage in 2022 in order to make a difference. And we have to begin to plan for 2024. You see, conservatives have an intellectual advantage. We can multitask, my friends, and anybody who continually puts forth 2020 or bust is designing you to be paralyzed with inaction. Inaction in the current day. We have got to take full advantage and get fully engaged in the current day if we're going to prevail. That's just simply the truth. To escape or deny that is intellectual immaturity at its highest caliber. So get involved, please. I know that after a long day of work, the last thing that you want to do is go manage, observe, and keep track of election facilities, or join or attend a school board meeting. You see, but these are the reasons why we're winning, because we're getting involved in record numbers, not just by voting, but by showing up and becoming involved. Do you know that by virtue of your involvement as conservatives, 14 states in the union since 2020 have outlawed critical race theory in their school curriculums? We are firing woke school superintendents. The New York Supreme Court just the other day said that people that were fired because they didn't want to take the jab have got to be reinstated to those jobs with back pay. Even the courts are beginning to realize that COVID nonsense was the biggest nothing burger in the history of hysteria. Ladies and gentlemen, there's every reason in the world to be hopeful, because there's every reason to believe that you and we the people, are going to make a difference and become involved in this republic again. And that will bring forth the spark that ignites the divine providence of God. This country was inspired by God, our founding documents written by men, inspired by God. We have every reason to believe that we are in the midst of the greatest time that this republic has ever seen. We will see the great reawakening. How do we stop them, Doug? How do we stop the Commusocialists? Again, I'll say, let them speak loudly. Let them speak often. Because every time they utter any of their policies or their platform, millions of people leave that platform. Because the platform simply does one thing. It causes chaos. Look around you. Evidence of the obvious is sufficient, and you know it. You can see it. Believe it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard of electromagnetic pulse, EMP for short? I've got a device here that I'm going to hook up to my car. I've got one that looks similar to it that I'm going to hook up to my breaker box in my house. EMP Shield, empshield.com. Go there and use promo code Doug. EMP pulse magnetic energy can come from the sun. It can happen in nature, but it also can happen from foreign nations who don't necessarily take too kindly to us. It can happen in nuclear blasts, things like that you've heard and seen in the movies. Now, I'm not saying a nuclear blast is going to happen, but this device, the EMP Shield, simple to install. Listen, if I can do it, and I'm no Einstein, you can do it. Hook it up to your car battery, hook it up to your breaker box in your home or your apartment, wherever. Make sure that you're protected in case of an electromagnetic pulse outbreak in this country or around the world. It will protect you. You want to be able to go from point A to point B. Get one today. empshield.com, promo code Doug. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.